everybody, it's Kelsee Briana J here with a review and demos of the NARS Voyageur Eyeshadow palettes. I picked up these babies from Sephora and they retail for $32 each. And the three palettes are called the Copper palette, the Suede palette, and the Quartz palette. So let's jump into the details. It says that this is a unique curation of shades inspired by destinations around the globe in buttery mattes, lustrous satins, and multi-dimensional glitter formulas. It will transport you to a place of uninhibited artistry. The miniature size and lightweight compacts allow for portability and convenience while traveling. The versatile formula can be used as an eyeshadow or liner and applied wet or dry. Its addictive, velvety texture easily blends to create smooth, even color, while delivering rich, long-lasting pigment in one stroke. That's what Sephora said. Each palette has 6 eyeshadows, and in each pan there's 0.02 ounces of product, so they're itty bitty, but they are supposed to just be mini palettes that allow you to do different looks from one little bitty palette, which is good for travel, but for me, I like big things. Let's go ahead and jump into each palette, and in each palette I'm going to give you all a different look, and then at the end of the video I'm going to share my final thoughts on each palette with you guys. So first we have the Copper palette, which is the warmer toned palette, and all of the palettes also have mirrors. Here's the Copper palette. As you guys can see, it's the warmer toned palette, and it has these really beautiful browns at the top and then the shimmery browns and copper colors at the bottom. So I'll go ahead and insert swatches of this palette. And here's the eye demo of me using this palette. So I'm first going to take a fluffy brush in the color Ocean Drive. I'm going to take an Esom S33 and fluff this above my crease as my transition color. So just back and forth. Now I'm going to go in with the same brush in the color Pampelon. And I am just going to take my time and buff this color on the very outer corner. So just take your time and diffuse that color here. And then we're going to blend it over and then slightly blend it up towards the crease. This is about what it should look like. Now I'm going to go in with the color YSL in a flat shader brush and pop that right on the inner corner and blend it over. So now I'm going to take the same brush in the color Cantina. Now I'm going to fill this entire area in with this color. Again, going into YSL with a pencil brush. I am just going to wrap this along, and along the rest of the lower lash line, I'm going to take the color Pampelon. All across the lower lash line, I am just going to diffuse this color, connect it to the top. So here's the final eye look using the Copper palette. Next we have the Quartz palette, which this palette is the all shimmer palette. This one is the more jewel toned palette, so it has these really rich colors in here. But I'll go ahead and insert the swatches of this palette, and here's the eye look of me using this palette. So I'm first going to take a blending brush in the color Owl Circle, and I am going to pop this in the crease, so just back and forth. And let's deposit this color and build it up. So I'm just going back and forth right in that crease to apply the color. Now I'm going to take a flat shader brush in the color Dira. I'm just going to tap that right on the inner corner and then blend it over. Same brush, and I'm going to take the color Jordan and pop that all on the lid. So this color is taking a while to build up. I'm digging my brush in this color just to get it to deposit here. But once I'm getting it applied, it is giving a really beautiful golden glow. Same brush, and I'm going to take the color Gold Souk and apply that right on the very outer corner and then blend it up. And I am just slowly building this. So I'm dipping my brush back into the color, patting more color, just to further intensify this eye. I am getting a little bit of fallout with this color. I'm just going to dust that off. With the Royal & Langnickel BOM17 brush, I'm going to take the color Fountain Blue. And I'm going to take this all across the lower lash line. And with this brush, it's going to apply it in a diffused manner. Fallout, fallout, fallout. And I'm going to take a pencil brush and go back in the shade Dira. Take that and apply that on the inner corner here. So here's my final look using the Quartz palette. And lastly, we have the Suede palette, which is the palette that I have on my eyes now. And this one is the cooler toned, more neutral palette. So I'll go ahead and insert swatches of this palette. And here's the eye demo of me using this palette. So I'm first going to take a blending brush. This is a MAC 217 natural hair brush, I know guys. I'm going to take the color Deep Chic. I am going to take this color directly in the crease and blend it out. I'm going straight in over my concealer with this color. So just back and forth. Now with the same brush, I'm going to go in with the color Graffiti. And I'm going to pop this right on the very outer corner. So just pack it on and then bring it up. I'm going to go in with a flat shader brush and the color Stilt House. And pop that right on the inner corner and blend it over. Same brush, and I'm going to take the color Soleil. And I'm going to pop that on the lid. Oh, this color is really pretty. So I want this all over the lid. So connect it with the inner corner color. Bring it up towards the crease. Just build this up until it's fully opaque. I'm going to pick up the color Stilt House. I'm going to pop this color on the lower inner corner. Now I'm going to take the color Condesa and apply it on the rest of the lower lash line. Let's just rim this along the rest. And make sure to connect that to the top. And this is the finished eye look. So now let's dive back into the palettes and I will share my pros and cons of each. Let's first talk about the Suede palette. I think this palette is very good quality. I think the colors in here are really nice. I really enjoy using the shimmers and the mattes. I feel like I can do the most different eye looks using this palette out of the three. I definitely think this one is my favorite one out of all three of the palettes from this launch, simply because I just feel like this one is more versatile. I feel like the formulation of the eyeshadows in this palette is a little bit better. I thoroughly love this deep chocolate color. I just really feel like that was very rich and intense, and it gave me a really beautiful saturated brown, which is actually hard to come by. That's not super warm or it doesn't turn black. It definitely still kept the brown color while still giving me that nice richness. Plus, I feel like these colors are very complementary on my complexion. You know, these colors are more cool tones / neutral tones, and sometimes these type colors fall flat on my complexion. But I definitely feel like these give a very sleek and sexy look, and I'm here for them. I love this one. I can see myself using this one over and over and reaching for it, especially for a day-to-day eye look. So here we have the QUARTZ palette, and I think this palette is just a little bit flat for me. It didn't really give me a lot of wow factor in terms of color, nor the pigmentation, or the formulation. I feel like these eyeshadows were very chunky in comparison to some of the eyeshadows. I feel like these had a lot of fallout. A lot of these had more prominent glitter flakes in them, which I'm not opposed to that as long as it's smooth enough to allow me to enjoy the glitter flakes and they're not falling down on my cheek every second. I had a lot of fallout with this one. I feel like this one is not as smoothly formulated as the others. I definitely had to dust off fallout more than once using this palette. Plus, this is not a complete palette to me, so I definitely didn't enjoy this one as much as I did the other two. As you guys saw in the demonstration, I did an eye look just using this palette, but for me to have a completed look, I would prefer to have a matte in here, something for a transition or something, because these colors really made it difficult for me to make a comprehensive eye look. I think the eyeshadows in here are pretty basic, and it's not something that's going to stand out. I would pass on this one out of all three of them. I feel like you can do the same eye look with other eyeshadows that we already have in our collection. This one is not stand outish. It is not unique. Plus the formulation is not there. Plus it's not comprehensive. And the colors in here just really don't pop on my complexion. So this is a skip for me. And lastly, we have the Copper palette, which I think this palette was great quality. However, it is a warm toned eyeshadow palette. And at this point, we have a lot of this in our collection. It's just, do you need it to be in a convenient size like this? This is a pocket sized palette. This is good to create an everyday eye look, or if you're a person on the go who has to do their makeup in the car a lot. I feel like this one will serve that purpose. I just don't think it's that unique. Nice, but it's not a must-have. I feel like the eyeshadows in here are formulated very well. They're very smooth. I was able to build it up. That brown on me, it wasn't that pigmented, but it did build up. But it's more so of a softer, everyday type brown, like the rest of the colors in here are. But you just have to decide if you need another color palette like this in your collection. Alright guys, so I hope that you all enjoyed watching this video. Let me know your favorite palette out of the 3 down in the comments section. Do you all plan on picking up these palettes? Let me know your thoughts on them. And I will check you all in my very next video, which will be super soon. Smooches. Bye.